Hello everyone, Ceri Griffiths here, or as you know me, Ceri the Crafter. So, today is the 2nd of December 2023, and I'm here to launch the colour combo. Now, it's unusual, you don't normally see me verbally announce something. We are going to go into a project directly after I finish my announcements, but I just wanted to say a few things as we're moving forward. And don't panic, we're not cancelling colour combo. It's loved by you and it's loved by us. I couldn't do this without Paula Keane in the Netherlands, who helps me each month stop procrastinating, make decisions, and does the Facebook Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook. You can see it's early in the morning, can't you? Sorry, swig of coffee. Okay, Paula does the announcement on the Facebook group Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists. Thank goodness for that. And she does a wonderful job. She does research, she finds images, she launches it as a post. I launch it as a project, or I launch it as the colours. So anyway, we've been going now for over a year. We've done a few things as we go along, and we've listened to your comments because you guys are the ones who send in your requests for colour combinations. We've now got enough to do the whole of 2024. I also read all the comments, and so does Paula, and we talk about things, and there's a couple of changes moving forward, and I just want to address them before we dive into December and my quirky little twist on December. Yes, we're doing it in 2024. A lot of you have said that you like the fact that we use black, white, and a metallic, and then we usually use two colours. Lots of you would like us to use three colours. So for 2024, what we're going to try and do is there'll be three colours plus black, white, and a metallic. You don't have to use all three, but we're giving you three as part of each month. Next things. Paula will be still doing the Facebook announcement of the colour combination. I will let PM Artist Studio announce what date we'll launch things like the events and the challenges and the combos and the collages. I'll let Mariah do that when they get around to doing that video. Paula will still do the Facebook post. I will no longer be doing these launch videos, because I'm finding I'm now cycling back through the same ideas again and again. Make a background, do ATCs, do card fronts, do postcards, and I feel that I'd like to change it up slightly. So in 2024, when time allows, because I have a very busy schedule for filming, what I intend doing is I'm going to try and do a project in a month that incorporates the colour combination in with it, plus maybe the theme of the month of somewhere. Or basically I want to do a more meatier project, not just putting paint or ink or dusts or colours on a page. I want to be able to be making something from it. So forgive me if you really love these launch videos. However, I'd like to develop them further so that I incorporate them into maybe the maker's theme of the month, or maybe I'll choose an event in the year, or maybe it'll be a seasonal thing, or you get where I'm going with that. So anyway, so that's going to be done. I think that's pretty much it. I would say watch out for the announcement that Mariah from PM Artist Studio is going to make in this month of December, because we're changing up some of the things that are happening in Makers. It's all exciting, it's all new, we're all developing as we move along to include absolutely everyone's style and way of working all the way through. And I'm not just talking about YouTubers, I'm talking about anyone who makes anything. So Mariah's got some really clever plans, so watch out for those. Those will be announced. Right, on to this month of December. Right. Originally, this was going to be green and red. I personally thought that was far too predictable. There were many discussions around it. I personally didn't want December's theme to force people to celebrate Christmas. Christmas is not the only event of note in December. There are those who don't celebrate, those who would choose not to celebrate, those whose ethnic background have other celebrations other than the Christmas celebration. And I want to incorporate everyone without seeming to push anyone aside, because that's not my nature. I like to encompass everybody in everything we do if I can. So anyway, we had discussions. I also wanted to put a bit of a twist in the December one to get us out of our comfort zone slightly. So right, so the color combination, where's my box? The color combination for December is, you can use white. I've got another tube of white. So you can use white, that's normal. You can use black. Did I buy more black? I think I bought more black. I think I bought it the other day. So you've got black, white. Now, we are also going to say to you, you can use silver and or gold. So I've got a couple of golds. In fact, I've got 3 golds, and I've got 4 golds, and I've got silver. So you can do black, white, gold, black, white, silver, or black, white, silver, and gold. Now, the question is going to be, where's the color? There ain't any, people. That's the twist. You can obviously combine black and white to make any shade of grey you wish as well. But we wanted to give it a bit of a twist in the tail, because I think we're all going to be so surrounded by the festive colours for December that I just wanted to go, you know, let's move away from that. And for anyone out there who's going to go, but Ceri, it's called the colour combo and there's no colours. Well, if you know your colour wheel, black and white are both, well, one is the complete absorption of all colours, one is the complete reflection of all colours. So arguably, it's got colour in it. So just to reiterate, you've got black, you've got white, you've got silver, you've got gold, and any shade of grey that you make within it. So black, white, well, I wrote this down, why am I not reading it? Black, white, grey, which is made from any of the black and white that you've got on the old thing, silver and or gold. And then I'm throwing in, just for sheer fits and giggles, I'm throwing in a wild card. You don't have to do the wild card. It's completely optional. But as this combo is actually generated and made as a mixed media art and artist group, I think it's going to work. I would like you to take, if you have one, any single product from PM Artist Studio and use it in your creative make for this month. Now, that could be one of their printable backgrounds, it could be one of their stencils, it could be one of their masks, could be one of their foam stamps. It can be any of those. If, say, let's use one of mine. If you've got border builders, my foam stamps, the one product is the 4 border builders within that one block. Why is it so hard to speak, Darcy? I know what you mean. Sometimes words are hard. If you're buying lazy layers and it's a set of 4 stencils, and you can use all those 4 stencils. If you're using one of the stripper collections from any of the designers, then all of the strips within that one purchase are actually included. So I thought that'd be a nice twist. So I'm eager to see what you come up with. I'm eager to see what I come up with. I think today I'm just going to sail plain sailing. I'm just going to create a background. Because it's going to be a challenge for me this time as well, because there is no colour, arguably, and I love colour. So anyway, I think that's enough for me gossiping on. You'll hear more about what's happening in 2024 when Mariah does her announcement, and I will so feed that out to you guys. There will be a link in the description box below for a link to the PM Artist Studio Facebook group makers of Mixed Media Art and Artist Group. If you're not a member of it, you can click that link, you can join. You need to answer either 2 or 3 questions to get in. They're really easy, really numpty easy questions. They're there to make sure they're filtering out any robots or spammers or whatever, but they're there just to make sure the right people are in there, because it's a wonderfully supportive creative group working in as many different mediums as you can think of. Nice place to be. I belong there. It's the only group that I consistently am part of year in, year out, and you can get hold of me through there if you can't get hold of me through the website. So, okay, no further ado, whatever that word's supposed to mean, let's flip this camera over and see what I can create with these clean hands at the moment. I have a feeling using black, they're not going to be clean very long. So let's create a background. So let's see how this goes. I have no plan except I'm going to make a 12 by 12 background, a bit like I did whenever I first started doing these. I'm just having some fun. I've got myself some 250 GSM 12 by 12 cardstock, which is what I'm going to be working on. Just to reiterate, the colours we've got are black, and yes, I do have more black. I just checked on the top shelf. I've got white, and I've got a pretty opaque white, and I've got a transparent white because I might want to play around with the opacity of stuff. Obviously, I can make the grey out of both white and the black. Then, as I said, you can have gold, and I've got several golds, and or silver, and I've got a couple of silvers. So not really sure where I'm going with this. Paula and I decided on these colours, basically, as I said, as a bit of a twist in the tail, but I don't know how it's going to go. As always, I don't know how it's going, and that's the magical book on a gel plate. Now, the wild card, remember, was one PM Artist Studio product. Should you have one, or should you choose to use one? I'm going to use my collection of feather ferns. I like this collection. As you can see, I use it. And I really think I want to use that in here. I think we're going to start by using that in here, actually. I'm going to use the 8x10 version. I think that's the 8x10. I get confused. I move the papers around. Oh, that must be the postman. Which one do I want to use? Yeah, I think I want to use the bigger one. So I just want to put something into the background and take the design from there. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to put the stuff on here, and I'm going to put black on here straight away. It'll then be in the background almost as a ghost or a shadow in the background. Oh, that's probably way too much paint, but that's okay. I can work with that. We're at the beginning, guys. We're at the beginning. So I can't believe it's actually been over a year now that we've been doing this, and we have been doing this every single month. On the 2nd of the month it gets launched. I've seen some incredible stuff. Big thank you, as I said before, to Paula Keen in the Netherlands. Paula helps me with organising these, and she does some fabulous examples and really enjoys working with this colour scheme, with this colour combo herself. I'm going to lift this up and move it over, because I'd like to actually have this fill the whole plate. Right, this is a bit tricky when the paint's already wet. I'm going to get in there. That's close enough. We're not going to get the continuity police involved in this one. I just want to make sure that I've got enough going right across the plate to give me a continual pattern. Right, this is a 4-inch speedball brayer, the one that I prefer to use. Right, there is a little bit of a mark in there and a little bit of a mark in there. Not that it hugely matters, but it will annoy me. Why didn't I get a line down the middle of there? Is one of my pieces missing a line? Oh, curious. Never mind. Right, I'm just going to put this down and pick it up. Now, I don't mind if things get grungy. I do not mind if things don't pick up perfectly. Backgrounds. And as you know with me, we're just building layers upon layers upon layers. So just pick that up. See, that gives me a good starting block for something. I've still got stuff down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my stencil over on here and just give it a bit of a press down, because I've got tissue paper here that I can clean up on. I'm going to see what I can get off this plate onto that. So this is from a previous pull, obviously. Previous project, I should probably say, not a previous pull. This is wet strength tissue paper, carnival tissue paper. I tend to do my cleanups with this because it's more resilient. Yes, I do pull images and stuff with gift wrap tissue paper, but I find this one is a bit more durable when it comes to manhandling it. So they're just putting a layer of grunge on there. Now, I am going to clean off the plate, and for those of you who are observant, you'll notice I've got a new cloth. And that's because I went to my storage unit, well, it was beginning of the week, and that's where all of my cake decorating stuff is stored, which I'm slowly sort of getting rid of and dispersing, because that piece of my life is now no longer a piece of my life. And what did I find? I found a huge amount of these cloths there, which used to be what the students used to use to clean up as they were working. So I was quite happy to find those. I've probably got enough of those to last the rest of my gel printing life. So they are a bit vibrant, I must admit, but then I think part of that was when I was teaching bakery and confectionery, cake decoration and design, I chose bright cloths just in case one of them got into a big commercial mixing bowl or something. You would see this in a cake batter. I know you're going, what? It happens. It can happen. It shouldn't happen, but sometimes people don't realize, and they pick up a cloth and then they put it down, and before you know it, it's fallen into a mixing bowl, and then it has to be found and accounted for. It's a bit like if you go into surgery, they always count all of the swabs and all of the equipment and everything before they start, and then they do a count at the end of it as well. Well, they should do, because you don't want to be suddenly going, has someone seen a pair of forceps? I think I've left them inside somebody. It's a bit disconcerting. So, never mind. Not that I've had that happen to me or really heard anyone who's had that happen to them, but I have heard it can happen. Let's put this somewhere out of the way. So, right, so we've got the black done and dusted. I've got black on here. There will be black later on. I have no fear of that. But I think now I want to come in and I'm going to play around with a bit of grey. Now, I've just cleaned all that black off, and you're going to go, Ceri, you just go put more black down. I know. I forgot, okay? Let's be a little kind. It's been a very long day. I've already filmed 2 videos this morning. I've edited 2 and I've uploaded 2. And what time is it? It's only midday. And I've already done 2 videos and I'm on my 3rd for the day. So, you know what? It's just the life of a YouTuber, I tell you. Right, so I don't mind that it's not perfect. I just want to get interest in here. As everything is, anything that's on my print could get covered up as I go along. Like these could be completely obliterated right now. That was why I reached for the transparent white paint and not the opaque white paint, just in case I can get a bit of a shadow through it. Right, I've got that on there. Let's clean that off. Now, what am I planning to do with these? I don't know. And as I said in the opening clip, I've got to the point where I'm finding now I'm going back through, like I've made postcards, I've made the fronts of cards, I've made 12 by 12, so I've made ATCs or artist trading cards. I've made tags, I've made journal cards, I've made covers. I mean, I've done a lot with my gel plate and the colour combo, but I think what I want to do, what I plan to do now is I'm going to start dipping in and out of the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artist prompts for each month. So every month they will have, like, what's the one for December? I think it's something like Giddy Gifts or something like that. And there was one that was like about the sea earlier on in the year. So I just want to dip in those and actually just create something around those themes instead of just producing a background or postcards or ATCs. Basically, I just want to have a little bit more of a challenge for myself and enjoy the process of using the colours. Right, that's getting very, very nice. Don't like that line. It'll disappear eventually. I might be able to get some of it off now, actually. Just clean the plate a bit. There you go, it's breaking it up a bit for me. So it's funny, the gel plate is a 12 by 12, although because it's a very old gel plate, it's kind of got distorted over time. It's like my 9x12 is more like an 8 3/4 and 11.5, to be honest, because I think over time it shrunk or distorted. I don't mind. I like my gel plates. I use them all the time. So, right, that's put a bit on there. Now, I think we need to start thinking immediately, how am I going to put in things to make this have the wow factor? Now, I've got this. It says vintage brass, but to me that looks really gold. Now, I haven't used this much because it's a bit thin and wishy-washy. But I think if sorry, giving a good shake on screen is probably making you feel ill at this moment in time. It's more of a glaze. I'm not overly fond of it. As you can see, it's sort of something and nothing. It doesn't, I don't know what it is about this product. It's not my favorite. Let's put that down. I have got myself some shuttle art, a collection of shuttle art, what are they called? Metallic, oh God, what are they called? Like interference paints. They go well and change colour when the light hits them in different ways. And so I'm trying to use up paints like this before I start using those, because if I start using those, I'm never going to use up these. I know what I'm like. I'll just move on to the next thing and I won't actually think about what I've got in my stash that is probably then going to go old and never be used and then found in a few years' time. You know, I like the way that looks. That's nice. So, right. So basically, I'm just trying to build up some interest on here. So that oldie look works for me. Right, now I think I want to come in. I'm going to play around with trying to make things look quite textural. I use this because I want this print to look a little bit old wallpaper, plaster, whatever. And I want to start because there's 3 sizes in this. As you can see, there's a 5x7, there's a 9x12, which was the first one I used, and then 8x10. And I want to start with the big ones in the background, then move to that size, and then, if I can find it, go on to this size. So just to see how it all works. They're not a million miles size different. It's usually just the stencil that makes a huge... The proportion is more the stencil than the design, is what I'm trying to say, and failing miserably at it. Right, I think I want to come in immediately, and I think I want to put... Now, do I want white at this point? I'm not sure the silver is going to show up as much as I want it to show up, so I think I'm going to come in immediately, and I'm going to use some white. Ooh, let's take that off there, would be a nice thing to do. What I want to do is find a bit of magazine page. That will do. Come on, Mr. Magazine. Right, I'm just taking a piece of magazine page. It's what I'm rolling my stuff off on. And I'm just going to bray this out a bit. And let's crunch this up, uncrunch it, and rip it in half, apparently. Crunch it again. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to pick up pieces and just lay stuff down. So pretty much making marks with the magazine. I give a little more concentration on the edges so then I know they are covered. Actually, already I'm liking that. Right, let's get that out of the way. Let's clean this up. So as you can see, just no other equipment than a piece of magazine page, just trying to give it some textural integrity. Right, that's getting a bit caked over. A bit of a clean up. So as I said, there's some plans for next year's colour combo, which I'm very, very happy about. We listened to you. We're going to do 3 colours plus the black, white and the metallic, which I think is going to be very, very fun. I'm liking where this is going. I think it's going to be very, very fun to be doing those because, of course, one thing I find people have done with the colour combination, which I'm quite surprised at, is they're allowed to use the colours, but not very many people mix the colours to make another colour. They tend to think that it all has to be those colours as they come out of the tube. It's not. If I give you blue and yellow as your colours, well, obviously you can make green. So your colours could be blue, yellow and green. So it's things like that. And what we're trying to do is give people wider scope to actually just enjoy. And that's what this is about for us. It's all about just playing, because I think the more you play, the more you enjoy, the more you learn. Okay, right, I've got a cup of coffee somewhere. Cup of coffee. Oh, that's good. I'll just try and keep myself going. Right, I like where that's at. To be honest with you, I could be quite happy to stop, but I'm not going to. Right, I want to come in with a bit of bubble wrap, because I always come in with bubble wrap. I want to make sure the bubble wrap's pretty much in the background here. Now, I don't know which of these is more opaque. Oh, that says transparent, that says semi-transparent. So I think we're going to go with this one. As I said, I'm not a great lover of silver in that I don't use it that often. Possibly because it just reminds me of grey. But we're going to bray that out a bit. Pick some of this up and put it in areas. See, it's so subtle, but you'd be surprised when you look into a piece of art what you actually look after you've looked at a piece of art for a few seconds. You will notice things that you didn't know were there. That's why I like going to the museum, actually, in the art galleries, is because I can look at something and walk around the gallery and come back and then look at it again and go, I never noticed that the first time around. Exciting. Right. How am I feeling about this? I am really liking that. That's going where I was hoping it was going to go. Right, let's lift this off a second. Put that up there to dry. Now I want to come in and I want to put some, how do I put this, like smears. So I'm going to grab myself a credit card or a store card, or this was actually my cruise card. There you go, when I went to Alaska. And let's pull in, what colour should we use? Let's use one of these golds. What have I got? Iridescent precious gold, deep gold, light gold, semi, that one doesn't tell me, probably semi as well. Let's go with this one. Talk about make a decision, Griffiths, seriously. Right, so I'm trying to create some streaks on here that will get picked up when I put the piece on top. Now, I found that if I keep my card relatively flat to the surface, I get far more interesting bits of paint stuck to my stuff, apparently. Far more interesting smears. So I think if I lift this up, can you see where we're going with this? Now I'm trying to only do vertical and vertical on this. I don't really want horizontal for no other reason than I'm just not in the mood for horizontal today. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to do quite a light pickup, just gentle, and I'm just letting the weight of my hand kiss that down to the plate to pick up, because I don't want a huge amount. There you go, like that. I might actually come in. Now I've got someone here and actually do it directly on here. That will give it different intensities. Okay, loving that. That's going in the right direction. Put that up there. So where do I want to go from here? So we've got gold, we've got silver, we've got black, we've got white, we've got grey. So basically, we've met the brief. Do I think it's where I need it to be? Not at the moment, I don't think it is. What I really want to do is I want to come in now. I want to add some white to this. I need to clean this up a little bit first. So let's get this old bit of tissue down. The trouble with using metallics for me is they always dry really quickly, and I think that's pretty much a given for most people who use metallic paints. You usually find that they dry really quite quickly. I don't know whether it's because they're heavily pigmented or whether they've got the particle sizes are different. I don't know. I'm sure someone out there has a theory as to why they dry quickly. I don't know. It's not, I don't know it. Right. Now, what I want to do now, I want to come in and I want to put a layer of white on here. And then I want to come in and do some sort of marks through it. So I need to go and find something to pull through this. Right, I've got these Ranger tools. I think they're by Dina Wakley. As you can see, they're almost like cake smoothers. So I can put some textural stuff down. And I think I want to put this down and then go in and make some quite dramatic, almost gouges out of the paint. Oh, I forgot that one was running out. Do excuse the explosion of air there. So, again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I would like it to go to the edges. Right, now, let's see, which of these do I quite like? Let's start with this one. So, let's wipe the excess of that off. Oh, looks like a heartbeat. Now I'm going to be lifting this with the tissue, and then I'm very likely to come in and pick up a ghost print. Okay, so just be aware that's kind of where I'm thinking of going with this. So I'm going to come in, quickly lay that on there, pull it off, lay it back on there, pull it off. I don't mind if the pattern transfers itself around. Oh, dog's in the garden. Right, I think I want to come in now and remove sections of it. I'm going to come in with my print. Now I'm turning my print on the side because I want it in that orientation. Don't know why my brain decided to do that in that direction, but there you go. That's just the way my head's gone today. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Let's just fill in that little bit there because it looks a little bit naked. So now you could have used anything to make those marks. I've just used what I had, and I happen to have those in my drawer here, so I can't even remember where I got them. I could have got them at a craft show. I could have picked them up on one of my trips to the States. I could have bought them on an eBay auction. I just don't know where I got those. I've had them a long time and I very rarely use them. Probably for a really simple reason that when they're in the drawer, I never see them because they're clear plastic. So I find it very hard if I don't see something, how am I supposed to know it's there? So yeah, don't know about those. I do use them though, but not very often. I think I'd rather go for found items instead. Right, now I'm sort of killing time a bit because my print has had a lot of layers of paint on it for a few minutes. And it's going to start getting a bit soggy unless I'm very, very careful. So I do want to have a little think about it though. So let's pull it back in. Right, I've got some really interesting stuff going on in the background. I want to reintroduce the black into it again. And I think I want to be a little more strategic with its placement this time. Now, do I want to stay? Yes, I do want to stay with the black. Now, there is a smallest one of these that They did have as a freebie, as a giveaway at PM Artist Studio. And I will obviously put a link to PM Artist Studio and all my products in the description box below. I will also put a link to Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artist Group. So don't worry about that. You will hear what you need to hear from me in there. Let's see, let's pull out the black again. And I think, bear with me. Right, I've just grabbed a bit of packing sponge because I don't really want to put this on with a brayer. I want to come in and actually just pounce my little sponge up and down. It'll give me a different sort of intensity than the brayer would. It will also, because it's a sponge, it should give me a sharper image. And I don't want to do all of them, so let's lift that off there. So you get a far cleaner look. Now I want to come in and just take that one off there. And those two off there, if you don't mind. I'm going to put this down somewhere about there, I think. I didn't clean that off very well. I'm just going to continue with that. I don't actually need the gel plate to do this process. I could easily have done this without the gel plate. I could have worked directly on the print instead. I'm okay with that. Right, so I'm going to pop that up over there. I want to see if I can get 4 of them in that corner without having too much of a problem. Right, now I've got pieces here. I can always do a little bit of housekeeping just to pick those up. I'd be happier if I hadn't hit that one, but never mind. I come in a little bit more. And I think this time I want to pick up those 4. I think painting with a sponge is one of the things I've done quite a lot in my life. Like when I work with MDF or wood pieces, I will very often paint with a sponge. Okay, liking that. That works for me. Let's turn that over on the magazine page just to get the excess off because I don't want all of that staying on there. And actually it's made quite an interesting piece for collage. Look at that. So I've got stuff on here. Is it still wet? It looks still wet, which is good. Let's come in and pop this little baby down. I'm going to give it a press down and I'm going to get my Baron. Where have I put my Baron? There it is. Okay, this is a Baron. It's a smoothing tool. I mean, I've got quite large hands, so I managed to get a large one. They're made by Cody Woodcrafts on Etsy, so that's Anthony Cody. He ships internationally, I mean, obviously, because I've got one here and I don't live in America. So I was very happy. They're an investment, I must admit, but you know, it's handcrafted, one of a kind. There are no 2 identical ones of these. I use it because I found rubbing my hand on paper all the time, I sometimes get really dry hands, which then causes cracking. And also, after doing this for a day or so, I was finding I was having pain in my wrist here, whereas the weight of this actually means I don't have to press down as hard. So I'm loving that. Right, let's think about that for a second. Right, let's see where we're at. That's what I was looking for. Something that just looks a bit weathered. Now I wonder, I quite like something in this corner. I'm going to risk trying to get this one off here. Okay, it worked. I got that. I'm wondering whether to try that in another area, actually. I'm trying to do this without sticking my hand in the black paint that's on my 5x7 plate. Okay, loving that. Right, that can get picked up with... Ooh, my tissue's a bit wet. So if I just pick that up with that. So yeah, I'd say about a month ago, all of the organisers of the events on PM Artist Studio Facebook page got together. We had a Zoom meeting. Lovely to put faces to names, which is always... We deal with each other via social media, but sometimes you just never get to see the person's face. So it's really nice to see who you're talking to once, which is what we did. We had a Zoom meeting. That's really nice on them. I'm thinking I want to pick it up on something. I've got this piece of painted paper here. See if anything comes off. I'd be surprised because that's been laying down there a while. But any layer can be saved and built up onto something. I've got some stuff. So we had a meeting about how we wanted to proceed next year, what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it, who would be controlling what, who would be working with what. And it was just really nice to speak to everyone. So that's the thing nowadays. I mean, obviously we couldn't have had a physical meeting because we're spread all over the planet pretty much. But I think Zoom was as close as we could get, and it was nice, it was lovely. So I got to see everyone's smiling faces, although me being me, I got everyone's name wrong, even though it was written on the flipping screen, I still got it wrong. Right, let's have a bit of a quick look here. Right, I'm liking where that's going. I think I now need to add in a real gold, because that brass is fine, but it is very brass, and I thought it would be more gold, and it's actually come through. I mean, it's not brass, was it? It said light gold, but to me, that actually looks quite brassy. And I like the warmth of this one. This is deep gold. The other one I really favour is the iridescent gold. So I need to make a decision on those. Right, I've got loads of black on there. I need to put that somewhere because I'll use it up late. Actually, I think I'm going to pause the video for a second and go and use this on something so that I don't waste it. Because paint's expensive, people, and I'm not willing to waste it. So bear with me, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Right, and we're back again, all nice and cleaned up, ready to go. Just stuck it on some postcards. That was all I needed to do. Right, now how do I want to proceed with the gold? I actually think, guys, I'm really, really close to finishing. So I'm just trying to work out, I feel I'd like quite large patches of gold. And I'm thinking of using the jumbo bubble wrap. And I'm choosing this because if it pulls some of this off onto there, I don't mind that. So let's go with the Pebbio. Now, yes, it was. When I went to the NEC, National Exhibition Centre, and I asked the representative there how you said this word, they said it's Pebbio. Okay, Pebbio. So Pebbio. So that's how I'm going to try to remember to pronounce it going forward. If it's wrong, then it's wrong because I was told wrong. So, but Pebbio. Right. I know there are several different versions of people saying what the name is, which is why I promised to ask, but because I ended up ill, I didn't have a chance to give an update on that. Right. I'd like to aim for the areas that don't have those in them, though I feel that I am going to cover some of those up a little bit. Right, that's given me, I need a bit more down there. I think that's given me what I was looking for. Let's see if I can tilt this so we can all take a look. I didn't realise I'd left it sat on my plate. Okay, so we're getting there. I still would like more of these in here, I think. Right, let's get another piece of tissue paper because my tissue paper is absolutely soft as all heck. Even though it's wet strength tissue paper, there is a limit, guys. There is a limit to what you can get wet strength tissue paper to do. It's not likely to tear, but it just gets so soft, it's not manageable anymore. You have to kind of let it go back to being dried out. I mean, it wouldn't tear, but it would just get so soft it would be like, well, like handling wet kitchen paper. That's really annoying me. You need to go over there. There you go. Right, I think I want to come in and want to add white. And by white, I want stripes, or I want squares, or I want something. Now I'm trying to not use more than the product I chose, although I'm very tempted to reach for a foam stamp by PM Artist Studio, but I think we need to stay true to it, and let's look at something that I can put stripes on with. This, however, has just caught my eye, which is a pot holder. Was this a round one? I think this might have been a rectangular one with curved corners, and I cut it off. I can't remember where I got it though. Did I pick it up when I was in the States? Or did I find it in a sale somewhere? Can't remember. Anyway, it's a found item in my mind. So I think I'd quite like to put this on with white. And I could put it into some of these patches that need a little loving. Right. Pick it up. Put it down. Yes, that's okay, because it's subtle. Not something I do too often, but I do try. This has given me a very much an industrial vibe. I mean, it wouldn't take much to turn this into almost a steampunk piece, or a piece in the style of steampunk. Okay, how do we feel about that? Okay, I'm okay with that. I'd like this to be a bit drier, to be honest, because I'm at the point where I'm nervous about putting anything on top of it, just in case I pick it up on the next thing. Like, I'd like to come back in with the stencil and re-establish some of those feather ferns, but maybe I need to turn the camera off and dry this, because the paper's feeling very, very soft. We've put quite a chunk of paint on here. Right, bear with me, guys. I'm just, because it's bothering me, and I don't want to ruin it, because I love where we're at with this. I do want to come in and add more of this onto it, but in very strategic places, should we call it. So here we are, it's dry. It's not dry all the way through to the core, but it doesn't really need to be. It just needs to be dry enough so that when I put a stencil on the top, I'm not pulling back any paint off it. So what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of black. It's probably more than enough. And a little bit of white. And I want to come in with, where's my bit of sponge? My bit of sponge. And I'm going to re-establish some of these in the row that they were in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it so that they're a different shade of black. Well, that's the wrong word to say, actually. But I'm going to play with the intensity of them, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to work out, how did I do that one? Did I do it like that? I can't work out how I did that. Oh, well, never mind. I'm going to do it this way anyway. So just trying to link this up so it's a little bit married in line. I'm going to take my sponge. I'm going to take a little bit of the black, a touch of the white, and I'm going to sponge through. So see, I'm establishing it again, but I'm establishing it with a different intensity of the black. Oh, I know why I did. I picked it up several times, didn't I? Right, let's lift that one up. See, I've got some of the greys coming through here. Well, this has certainly been interesting trying to work without vibrant colours. Because as you know, I like a vibrant colour, me. Let's put one in there. And maybe a little bit down here on the edge, because I never really built anything down here and I seem to have forgotten it. There's a real danger I could take this too far unless I'm careful. Right. Okay, I'm not happy with that there. That didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I'd quite like to eliminate that, to be honest. How did I do that? Let's use a bit of this gold. Use the other side of my sponge, the dry side, and see if I can just eliminate that. It doesn't have to be completely disappeared. I'd rather it was in the background. Come in with a little bit of white around it, just to blend it out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a black one over the top. And then hopefully that will distract. There you go. Not perfect. Didn't expect it to be perfect. That's fine. Right. So, see, it's at this point I'd like to come in, and I personally would have put some red or something across this. But that's not what the brief said. Liking this all the same though. Now, the question is, what colour is the right colour to put over the top? Right, I know I shouldn't really, but I'm going to wipe that off. Purely because I don't want to pause the video again. So I think, see, I quite like to use a metallic, but that one's too light. Actually, that's not bad, is it? I still want to add red to one of these colours, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be true to my word, and I'm going to stick with the rules. So I think I'm going to put some thicker lines on with this corrugated card, and then maybe do some cross hatching with the finer one on top of them. So let's cross my fingers for me, because I'm not sure whether this is actually even going to be visible. Yeah, it is. It gives me a bit of a raised texture. I learnt this trick with corrugated card from Gail Augustinelli, by the way. Okay, so that's given me some loft, some lift. When that's dried, that'll be really nice. So I'll put a little bit on the bottom because it seems to be lacking. Right, so I don't think you can see that. We've got some lift on it. Now I'm going to turn this 90 degrees and I'm going to come in with the fine one. And I think what I want to do with the fine one is I want to come in and actually maybe go and revisit the black. I mean, I could try and make up a dark grey, but I really think I'd quite like the drama of the black. Right. Come here, Mr. Black. Now, because it's only fine lines, it shouldn't dominate the page. So I'm just going to come in with this fine bit of packaging, and I'm going to come in the areas that have not really got much black, like that through the middle there needs some. I will definitely hold this up to you in a minute, guys. So I'll do this before my paint dries out. I'm actually really excited. Actually, what day is this launch on? Launch is on the 2nd of December. I think the 3rd of December is a Sunday. And if the 3rd of December is a Sunday, then it means that PM Artist Studio will do a live. And I've designed a new set of stencils that I'm hoping you're all going to love. I've sort of gone out on a slight tangent. I'm really looking forward to playing with them myself. I'm not going to tell you what they are because you'll just have to tune in. I'll share them. The moment I get them, I will share them anyway. But I'm really hoping that it works, and you never know. It's just, I don't know. Let's just leave it at that. Just know something exciting is coming from me. Well, I'm excited about it, and I'm hoping you will. And I've done 2 versions of it. One horizontal or portrait and one landscape, which means that for those who are wishing to put detail onto journal pages, the landscape one will work for that, because I'm very conscious that I want to make sure that the landscape versions are being launched as well. Right, now, do we think we're done? There's a lot on here, but I'm not upset by that. So just trying to have a last minute thought of what I would do. So the colours are black, white, silver and or gold. Well, we know there's silver in there, and if you tip it slightly, you will see silver shot under places there. We've definitely got the gold. It was and or, so I don't mind that. I've got the white, I've got the black. I would like one more dominant thing, because this feels like a background that needs a something. You may have seen this before. It's a silicone ice cube. I picked it up in my pound shop, or equivalent if you're in America, or a dollar store. And I love this. It's got these silicone soft bits on the bottom, and I like them. So I want to put some dots on here. I was obviously going to reach for bubble wrap, but then I talked myself down off that ledge, because I think you will get a bit sick of me using. Will you stop doing that? I'm going to scrape this one out. It's annoying me. I end up wearing it more than I end up using it. So, right. Now, if I do this quite strategically, picking the paint up, okay, that didn't do what I was hoping it would do. I think because I haven't cleaned it, because I don't clean this, it wasn't giving me the full piece, but I'm okay. We can deal with that. Yeah, it's amazing the things you can find for mark making in the kitchen aisle of most shops. So stuff spat. I really do want to try and get that a little more white. That's better. I think we've got to the point where I really need to stop, because I'm going to mess this up. It's already a bit more complex than I was expecting it to be. But do I hate it? No, I don't hate it. I'm liking that. Okay, that was a bit of a challenge. I know we call it the colour combo. We don't call it the challenge anymore. But that was a bit of a challenge. I don't normally use black and white and nothing else. I would normally use black and white as accents or focal points for details. I wouldn't just use them for the whole thing. Thank goodness we've got metallics in there, because they've saved the day. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. I think I'm going to say we're done, guys. I think that's going to round out 2023 for us, and then we'll look forward to seeing what comes up when I start working in 2024. So It's from me. Guess what? I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter.